Hello and welcome back to Sakura Spirit. Last time, Takahiro was started out in jail in the village, being interrogated by the girls with the old-fashioned weapons. When the village elder came by, he and Takahiro agreed that Takahiro was in fact in another world, but had no idea how to get back. While Takahiro was pondering over what to do and looking forward to spending the night in the cell, the fox girls that he had saved unwillingly came and busted him out. Barely escaping the village guards, they made off into the forest. Here, through a series of, let's say, predictable for a Sakura novel moments, Takahiro got closer to both of the fox girls. Let's continue. I awoke the next morning to the sun filtering in through the wooden blinds, yawning loudly. The girls had graciously given me an entire room to myself, and it was certainly a lot bigger than my room back home. It was still early in the morning, likely a bit before breakfast. I decided to spend a short moment to gather my thoughts. It was clear that, in order to learn more about my situation, I would need to pay a visit to the shrine. Maybe I could even find the answers to some other questions that had been lingering in the back of my mind for a while now. The fact that Machiko seemed surprisingly nervous at the mention of Tsuyuri's name made me wonder about their relationship. What could possibly have happened to make Machiko react like that? The apparent hostility between the villagers and the fox spirit was another issue altogether. Of course, I couldn't forget about the fact that I needed to find a way to get home as well. Just as I finished gathering my thoughts, Meiko's voice resounded from the downstairs. "Takani! Breakfast is ready! Could you go get One-sama?" "Sure, we'll be right there." I quickly made my way out of the room, finding myself within one of the corridors of the mansion. Once outside, it didn't take me long to find Machiko wandering down the corridor, her lips curving into a smile when she saw me. "No need to look for me, Takakun." Meiko's voice reached me loud and clear. "Good morning, Machiko-san. Did you sleep well?" "It was a decent sleep, although perhaps a bit lonely. However, you seem to be getting along well with my little sister. Takani, was it? Perhaps I should consider you my rival in the quest for the heart of our dear Meiko-chan." She seems to like it. "I guess I'll be stuck with that name for a while." "Oh, it's not to your liking?" "Well, perhaps you would prefer Darling instead?" "You were watching us?" "Indeed. It was taking you both such a long time that I grew rather curious and snuck out. But I didn't see you at all." "Well, I am a fox spirit. Hiding myself from humans is like playing hide and seek with a child." "Then why didn't you use your hiding skills to hide from the guards?" "Now that you mention it, the thought never occurred to me." "Well, it certainly was fun getting chased by them." "Unfortunately, Meiko does not have the best control over her change. She is far too excitable and unable to maintain the illusion. It is one of her magical blind spots." "I'm sure it wouldn't have been fun if the Sundara tyrant had caught you both." "That certainly would have been an unpleasant experience. Then again, I'm sure you would have ended up saving me, wouldn't you, Takakun?" I noticed a subtle change in Machiko's voice as the sweet sugar-coated words caused my cheeks to flush red. I really wasn't any good with dealing with this girl's flirty attitude. Stepping backwards, I turned towards the stairs at the end of the corridor and replied in a hurried tone, "Meiko-chan is waiting for us." And with that, I rushed towards the kitchen with Machiko giggling behind me as she followed. Good morning, both of you. I fixed up some eggs and toast for you. There are some oranges, too." Wonderful. Thank you, little one. You're getting better at this." "To wake up knowing a pretty girl made my breakfast, it's good to be alive." "Perhaps you would enjoy having one resting by your side as well?" "That's a bit overkill, especially considering the condition of said girl." I recall the sight of Machiko sleeping yesterday, and my cheeks immediately grew red. I quickly sat down by the table and tried to distract myself by changing the subject. "So, thanks to you two, I learned a little about this world. How about I return the favor and talk about mine? Do you have anything you want to ask?" "Oh, yes, I want to know. What are the spirits like in your world?" Spirits, you say?" I thought about her question for a moment before I replied with a sheepish grin. "Well, in my world, spirits only exist in folk tales. They appear in stories, and certain religions even worship them, but it's not like we got them running around like they do in this world. Folk tales? Worship? Your world is strange, Takakun. Ah, that's kind of boring. What about your life? You're a defender of your village? You said something about judo before. What's that? You mean judo? Well, in my world, people go to this place called school. It's basically a place of knowledge where you learn a lot of things before you're considered an adult in our society. But in my world, the defenders are known as the police. They keep things peaceful and such. I'm just a student. I guess you could say that I'm studying to become a defender, not just of my village, but of my whole country. That was a bit exaggerated, but it felt kind of nice to call myself a defender. Hehe, that sounds weird. What, is the police like the army or something? Defending the whole nation? Your world is very strange, Takakun. I wouldn't call it strange, Machiko-chan. It's this world that's weird. But no, the police is like guards in the village. We do have an actual army that defends the country, though. Either way, your world sounds like fun, especially if everyone's like you. Anyway, Oh no, dang it! These oranges have all worms in them. Ew, 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 ew. One-sama, did you forget to check them again? Oh, how terrible. I must have been overcome with fatigue and never gotten around to checking them properly. Blah! Big old lazy meanie. I'll just have to go and get some apples instead. As Meiko went outside to grab some apples, my eyes drifted toward Machiko, who was observing me with a content smile, so clearly pleased with something. It's such a relief to see her in a good mood. It has been a tough few months, I must admit. She has been upset that her magical skill has not been progressing as fast as they once did. We all have our ups and downs, especially when it comes to studying. I still remember how I used to dread exams. So little time for my judo. It made me rather sad at times. That does sound rather stressful. Tell me, Takakun, what is it that you study? I'm intrigued by this school notion. Well, my situation is a bit different from most. While I go to school like everyone else, I actually aim to become an athlete. To explain it in a way you'd understand, an athlete is someone who practices a certain sport, and those who are among the best end up representing their country. I have an upcoming tournament that will decide whether or not I will be able to represent my country in judo. I think I understand. You focus on your strength, while still gathering knowledge to allow yourself a multitude of options. An interesting method. I should thank you. I guess you could say it like that, but why thank me? I believe that your sudden appearance in our world had a lot to do with Meiko's newfound joy. I can hear her singing, something I had not heard in weeks. It warms my heart to see her so overjoyed, and I believe it's because of you. Thank you, Takakun. I doubt that's the only reason, but you're welcome. I smiled bashfully at Machiko before continuing. Then again, I should also thank you for busting my rear out of jail. I don't want to think about what would have been doing if I was still in the care of the Sundara tyrant. You're most welcome, but please do not be so hard on Miyu-chan. There are many things here beyond her control. But perhaps it is out of our hands now. I still wish to thank you. Takakun, I have been wondering how I might repay you for bringing such joy to Meiko-chan. Repay me? For a moment my thoughts drifted toward a certain idea, but my cheeks quickly turned scarlet red at the thought. I couldn't ask something like that of her. I'm not sure I have anything in mind. I think your smile is enough. You are a true gentleman, Takakun. It's a shame, though. I was thinking of such naughty things, too. The fox spirit giggled to herself as she turned towards the garden, watching Meiko struggle to descend from one of the trees with an armful of apples. Meiko-chan, there are only 3 of us. Your belly does not count for a 4th person. Speaking of 4th person, it sounded like you two used to talk a lot with the spirit at the shrine. Why do you get so nervous whenever this Tsuyuri is involved? Yeah, that's not important. Oh, is that a giant bird carrying the seed of the world tree? Oh, maybe it is. I should go and... Tsuyuri Dono. Thank you for visiting us today. Machiko-chan is right over there. Tsuyuri, no, I'm sorry, I've just been terribly busy. Please forgive me, Tsuyuri-sama. Whoa, to think you'd get that flustered. Is she that amazing of a person? You don't understand. It's complicated. There are certain skills that I, as a fox spirit, possess. A subtle way of talking or acting that influence how people perceive me. They are... I suppose they would be considered social skills, but for spirits, Tsuyuri is capable of completely negating these, and it leaves me feeling rather nervous and helpless. I see. So basically she's immune to your flirting, and Connecting the dots in my mind, I planted the palm of my hand against my forehead. Now I get it. You're afraid of approaching her because this Tsuyuri is a bigger flirt than you. But if she's flirting with you... Oh, I see you swing that way. For some reason, I suddenly felt rather disappointed. That's not true! Well, maybe. I mean, she has an overpowering presence and it does not allow me to properly, do my thing. I'm not sure what you mean by swinging, however. It means that you know, like girls? Oh, really? Well, how about we forget all about Tsuyuri for now and I show you exactly which way I do swing, Takakun? That won't be necessary. But she must be quite a challenge to deal with, considering... I briefly lowered my voice to a whisper. You're already a handful to deal with once you start your teasing. Ha ha ha! You are perhaps less the gentleman I thought you to be, Takakun. Well, what am I then? A lovable rogue, perhaps. Or maybe you see yourself as more of a hero type. Of course I'm a hero. A perverted one, but a hero nonetheless. One-sama! Takani! Welcome back, Meiko-chan. How did the hunt for the golden apple go? Heh! No golden ones, but I got a load of good ones. Even the ones that's shaped like a heart. You can have that one, Takani. An apple shaped like a heart. Interesting. Does this mean you're confessing your love to me by giving me this? Maybe I am. I seriously think Ichikawa would kill me if he saw me in my current situation. Why, thank you, fair lady. I shall savor every moment of its sweet flavor. Meiko, how could you betray your love of me, your one and only sister? Did our time together mean nothing? Oh my. Yeah, but I love you too, Onisama. I found a super big apple for you. Polygamy at its finest. Well, we better hurry up. We're going to see Suchan. But wait, what? I thought we would need to at least ask her for her permission and wait until she grew bored enough to reply. I know, but when I was picking apples, I found one of her tiny familiars. She said she wanted to see us today. Oh, poopy. Following the directions Meiko had received, we set off from the mansion. The three of us made our way through the forest, somehow managing to stay on road with the help of the familiar. It didn't take us long before we arrived at the place where Machiko had fallen into the river. They say that a cautious fox is worth two, so we made it past the river without further ado. So, according to these familiars, the shrine is supposed to be up ahead? My gaze had fallen upon a series of steps that went up the hill from the dirt path, a gate standing at the top. Oh no, what could she want from us? She never summons us, she always bumps into us by chance. Why has she called for us, I wonder? Hey, you're so silly, I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. Maybe she has found a way to stop my headaches. Now that would be truly wonderful, but it's no use guessing. With a stride of confidence in my steps, I swiftly climbed the stairs, the girls quickly following in my wake. One was mimicking my own bold steps, while the other followed with small, slow paces. Come on, Onisama, why don't we make a game of it? To take your mind off it, we could play hop along dandy, hop, ha! Meiko-chan. The spunky girl hopped past me, giving out commands that the older girl seemed to be following. They both moved one step at a time, either hopping, stepping, or jumping to the next step. When one fumbled, the other took another step, and the command then switched to the other girl. The panic that had almost set in had seemingly vanished as Machiko continued the silly little game with her sister. The two soon reached the top of the steps, and a voice I could have sworn I had heard somewhere before resounded in the air. How adorable! Meiko-chan hasn't changed a bit in all these years, still hopping around on my doorstep like a bunny. Yeep! At the sound of the voice, Machiko let out a cry of surprise, her body trembling slightly as the owner revealed herself. The one responsible for Machiko's reaction seemed to be a familiar figure that hopped off the gate with ease and landed gracefully before us, her tail sweeping back and forth through the air. And Machi-chan, I'm so delighted to see you again. It has been a while since we last played. Have you been well? Hi, Tsu-chan. We were playing a really fun game just now. Hello, Tsuyuri-sama. We are doing well, thank you. It did look like a very cute game. Then again, it might have been because the two really cute girls were playing it. Still, I'm surprised you didn't join them, human. Couldn't keep up with their steps? I was more interested in meeting you than playing some game. How unfortunate to ignore the appeal that games hold. It isn't healthy to always look upon life with such a serious and worrisome attitude. Isn't that right, dear Machi-chan?
That's not fair, Tsu-chan. Takani didn't know the rules, and wouldn't be fair to bring someone in halfway. If he learned how to play, I'm sure he'll join next time.
It's not healthy? The girl took a deep breath and closed her eyes, composing herself. Mako's right. Tahaka-kun has yet to learn the game, and it's not his fault. I'm just teasing him, dearest. There's no need to get so worked up. But I'm glad that you are all here. One thing surprises me, however.
What is it?
The fact that your precious Taka-kun is here with you. Doesn't it strike you both as odd, a human like him being so friendly with spirits? The last time I recall seeing such a thing was when Machi-chan was but a toddler. This has me curious. Why is he here with you rather than someone of his own kind? That's the guards from the village. They arrested him because of our actions. He helped us escape and was arrested instead. We rescued him and allowed him to stay with us. It's fine, I swear. He's just a nice human. He seems to be not from around here, though. You need not take offense, my dear. I simply find it rather fascinating to see a human defend a spirit. I'm well aware that he is not from the village. I take little interest in the closed-minded humans of this realm, so your assumptions are correct. This boy is not a being of this world. And yet, he might end up playing an important role, whether he likes it or not. I already told Meiko-chan and Machiko-san this before, but it doesn't matter to me whether they're spirits or not. I like this place. That said, I'd still like to get back to my own world. I have an important tournament to prepare for. Alright, your upcoming battle. Let's take this discussion inside, shall we? We will wait for your return, Taka-kun. It seemed the sisters could no longer accompany me. Feeling nervous, my steps grew a bit hesitant as I followed the spirit inside. Here we are, the place of our very first conversation. I guess now would be a good time to introduce myself. My name is Tsuyuri, and just like your two companions out there, I am one of the spirits that inhabit this realm. But you're different from them, aren't you? How observant of you. Yes, there is a difference between myself and most other spirits. Spirits abide to a rather simple hierarchy. The stronger the spirit, the higher their standing. Then again, strength is often associated with experience. So what, you're saying that you're an ancient being or something? I wouldn't go that far, Takahiro. It's rude to question a girl's age. But let's move on to a subject of your desire to return to your own world. You're going to send me back? Great. I'm afraid sending you back is beyond my capabilities. Hold on. Weren't you the one who sent me here in the first place? I'm afraid that wasn't the case. It was your wish that sent you here. During our first encounter, I did mention that this place was special, didn't I? Now that I thought about it, she did mention something along those lines. I briefly closed my eyes, trying to recall what she had said before. This is a place like no other. That's right. Having spent time with the fox spirit, you already know that there's magic in this world. However, it's not as though Meiko-chan herself possesses said magic. Rather, her body is simply able to connect with it. That sounds a bit complicated. The bodies of people who are capable of using magic create a special kind of link to the magic of this world. Try to imagine it like this. The magic within this world flow through several gateways. We commonly refer to them as mana gateways. Those who possess the ability to use magic draw on the mana flowing from these gates. A different term for these people is mana receivers. So you're also drawing on this magic? Ha! No, my boy, I'm not borrowing the magic of this realm. I am powerful enough to perform magic on my own. However, this shrine is located on a mana gateway, which could explain why the shrine in your world is said to be capable of granting wishes. Then why can't you use that magic to send me back? Because it's not my magic that brought you here. It's the magic of the shrine, or rather, the world itself that pulled you into this realm. So, you're saying I'm stuck here forever? Not forever. You simply need to carry out the will of the world. Oh, great. You're saying this world has a will of its own now. And how the hell am I going to find out what it wants me to do? That's what you have me for, silly. I'm the guardian of this shrine, so obviously I know of its intentions. In your case, the task you were given was quite a harsh one. Don't tell me I have to collect wedding sashes. And marry my Machi-chan in the process? You wish. Teasing aside, the region is having its fair share of problems. Spirits and humans have lived apart for a long time, but it wasn't always like this. Wait, spirits have a world of their own? Yes, but that realm has started to merge with this one, causing some spirits to find themselves trapped here. Unfortunately, this happened before the more powerful spirits had the opportunity to reverse the damage done. Does that mean that Machiko-chan and Meiko-chan are... They don't belong in this world, although neither of them likely realize this. They were much like human toddlers when they first arrived in this world. I slowly started to understand the reason why the fox spirits and the villagers were on such bad terms. Anyone would be restless if being from another world that you had never heard of suddenly showed up at your doorstep. Is that why there is so much tension between them and the villagers? I'm afraid that the Fox sisters became the victims of a misunderstanding. You see, Machi-chan and Meiko-chan aren't the only spirits within this realm. There are others which has caused things to escalate. You mean there are other fox spirits? Not fox spirits, but other spirits. They were sent into this realm just like the sisters, but unfortunately they were sent rather far from here. While Machi-chan and Meiko-chan were close enough for me to care for them, the others weren't so lucky. What do you mean? Did something happen to them? Along with Meiko-chan and Machi-chan, four other spirits were sent here when the worlds briefly merged. Unlike the Fox sisters, the four didn't have anyone to watch over them, and as a result they grew rather spoiled and wild. So what you're saying is... spirits going wild? It sounded like a recipe for trouble. Yes, they grew oblivious of the way human society worked, and their behavior made humans mistake them for monsters. Even now, those girls and their games are mistaken as acts of violence, and as a result, tension rose between the spirits and humans. So, Machiko-san and Meiko-chan are discriminated against because of those spirits. You could say that, yes. Then, why didn't you try to stop them? Because I can't leave this forest. I am the guardian spirit of this shrine. I cannot leave my domain. I couldn't help but wonder what purpose all this talk about spirits served. Could it have something to do with finding my way back home? Do you think solving the problem with these spirits could be my ticket out of here? Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised if dealing with those spirits would solve the problems between the spirits and the humans. It would be difficult to track them down, but there may be an opportunity for you soon. An opportunity? I'm sensing one of them, heading through the forest towards the village. If you can convince Machi-chan and Meiko-chan to help you protect the village, the villagers might be willing to accept them. That did make sense. If Machiko and Meiko were seen protecting the village from a possible threat, they might be forgiven for the panties incident. Do you think it'll work? Only time will tell. For now, you better get the girls and make haste towards the village before the wild spirit causes any more damage. Nodding my head in agreement, I quickly ran outside, trying to think of how I could convince Machiko and Meiko to help me save the village. Surely they would be better off known as heroes rather than pranksters. However, I doubted that the sisters held feelings of fondness towards the villagers, considering their continued treatment of the two girls. I wonder how he'll solve the challenge set before him. I found Machiko and Meiko talking near the steps leading back into the forest. The two girls looked like they were playing a game similar to hopscotch on the wide shrine steps. It was time for me to figure out how to convince the girls. Ah, Taka-kun, is everything alright? You look worried. Tsuyuri told me something interesting.
Oh, what was it? Did she tell you Onisama's bust size? Meiko! Owie!
No, nothing like that. And even if she offered to, I would have said no. I am a gentleman after all. She told me about recent events, and I think I found a way to get you both accepted by the village. Wait, what? What did she tell you? She has not told us a thing. She didn't go into too many details. She just told me that some wild spirits caused a lot of trouble for the villagers and gave you guys a bad reputation. If we can convince the villagers that the other spirits are just playing, maybe we can figure out a way to protect them. And if you show up to help, maybe they'll warm up to you.
Yay! That'll work for sure! Suchan and Takan, you're so smart!
Whoa, wait. Meiko, calm down. Taka-kun, there's no way the villagers will accept us that easily. Even if we convince their elder, the two guards will never forgive us for our theft. I firmly believe that it's better to try something and fail than regret and not having tried. I mean, those girls would probably be upset, but maybe they would be more willing to listen to your story if we were to save the village.
It's better to try something and fail than regret not having tried. But won't you be sad if you fail despite having tried so hard?
Well, it'll only hurt if I fail. Nothing is ever set in stone, so it never hurts to try. While I was rather certain this idea would work, I knew I first had to convince the girls. With the amount of confidence my tone carried, I was hopeful that it was only a matter of time before Machiko would begin to consider it. I'm not sure, Taka-kun. Do you really want to face the wrath of Miyu head on? If it's for the sake of my friend, sure. And if we're lucky, she'll finally show the Dera side of her.
I'm up for it. I want to play with the people in the village. I want to be able to eat the delicious smelling foods and learn all about them.
What about you, Machiko-san? Don't you want to be able to walk around without the constant fear of being chased down by angry villagers? This could be the only chance we have. I suppose with both of you being so enthusiastic, I do not have much of a choice in the matter. It would be nice to be able to buy sake from the human world. Spirit sake is rather bland. That's the spirit. Literally. We should hurry to the village then. Very well, Taka-kun. And that's where we'll end this episode. So, we are now introduced to not 1, but 4 more characters, which means that I will have to think of 4 more voices. God damn it. Oh well. That's all for next episode, so until then, take care.